Norwich, Copenhagen, Tehran and Riyadh. So, a warm welcome to the press and everyone watching live online. Dear guests, we are living through a turning point in contemporary Palestinian history. So, in these historic days, this international conference is taking place in Istanbul. On one side, arguably the greatest tragedy in the history of Palestinian people. On the other side, critical steps toward the international recognition of the legitimate Palestinian state. So today, we will address Palestine, now one of the world's most pressing issues, from many angles and perspectives. With the help of the media and online broadcast, we aim to reach a wide audience, and we hope to contribute, even in a small way, to a solution. Before I give the floor to the co-organizers, let's watch our video that highlights the meaning of this conference.
According to United Nations and UNICEF data, more than 18,000 children have lost their lives in this war.
Estimated at this point that about 18,000 children in Gaza have already died.
Israel, which has disregarded the rules of Gaza war, has systematically targeted the holy places. According to the UN-backed IPC report, Gaza is officially experiencing famine. According to Gaza Ministry of Health, the number of people who died due to hunger and malnutrition was recorded as 303 as of August 26, 2025. 117 of them were children.
Thousands of people running towards us, and they're hungry, they're starving, and all of a sudden, the Israeli tanks, Israeli guns, Israeli weapons from all kinds started firing on the crowd.
Toplam resme bakıldığında
The overall picture is that more than 640,000 people across the Gaza Strip face catastrophic food insecurity.
And it's man-made, and that's very clear. And this is because of blockade.
אנחנו מטילים מצור מוחלט על העיר עזה. אין חשמל, אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם ואנחנו נוהגים בהתאם.
This tragedy, which took place in front of the eyes of the world, is also the footsteps of the Palestinian state. the devastation is not only a human tragedy, but also a historical turning point in West Asia.
احنا فدا المقاومه من الاخر اجيب لك اياها على بلاطه فدا فلسطين كمان
From the historical perspective, the people of Palestine have suffered a lot, and inshallah, they're going to overcome that. And all the conscious people in the world, they have recognized that. And the international society, by the way, turned their back on Palestinians, but it did not really prevent Palestinian people from speaking up their cause. They have no doubt sacrificed a lot, and they are basically aiming to establish their own state.
وانحياز مراكز القرار الدولي الكبرى لكنها أظهرت أيضا طاقات للتضامن الشعبي العالمي غير مسبوقة.
Of course, we want to mobilize the international mechanisms, and we want to receive the support of the international community. We want to use this international energy as a means of political pressure. This conference is an example of international solidarity towards the Palestinian cause. So it could be used, should be used as a means of pressure on Israel and on the way to establishment of the Free Palestinian State. We want to bring together all the efforts by the Arabs and the others in the region, and we are aiming to protect the civilians. So we want to start an active process, and as mentioned in the international agreements, we want to return the rights of the people of Palestine to its owners. We are going through a historical pain in Palestine. The people of Palestine have been suffering for quite some time. They've been deprived of their basic rights. And for quite some time, the international powers are basically doing that. When the Palestinians wanted to establish their own state, they blocked the way to it. The invaders want to divide and rule, that is, divide and eat in a way, at the local level and at the European level. We want to intensify our work and following the law and international assistance. We want to improve the situation of the people of Palestine, and the people of Palestine should maintain their own land. So when we look at it from the region of Gulf, from Iran, Egypt, from Europe, we have a lot of participation. This is a message in itself. Palestine is now on the agenda of international community. So it's not just a matter for the Palestinians, it's a matter for everyone who believes in peace. We need to support this. Through this conference, we hope that is, as an outcome of this conference, that stability and justice are going to be built in Palestine. So international community and NGOs are going to provide support. That's what we hope. We'd like to thank the participants for their support. We appreciate the support of MIT and Harici. I'd like to thank Mr. Tunç for... In Gaza, we are out of words. Sitting here and talking with my friends from Gaza, how legitimate is it that we sit down and discuss the issue here? I'm just questioning my own stance. When we look into the flow of history, we see that the evil in history did not really go on forever. As Hannah Arendt puts it, banality of evil is not going to go forever. I went to Damascus a few times. I'd never think I would go to Damascus, for example, or I would go to Masjid al-Aqsa, but I did. So that just helped me realize that the evil is not going to be forever. So I'd like to thank Harici and Tunç specifically. In the symposium, I was in the UK for quite some time, and his team spent a lot of effort into that. I'd like to thank the Harici team. I work at Mardin Artuklu University, by the way. So our rector basically says that we need to build an epistemological flood of Aqsa. So information produced by Israel, the intellectual work, it needs to be destroyed as well. So we need to create an epistemological flood of Aqsa in this symposium. And we're all activists in our own rights. Even being here basically means that we're standing against the oppression of Israel. So it's difficult for us to stop Israel using means of war. It's the decision of the states. Just like the flotilla en route now, here we need to contribute to statehood of Palestine. That's all that I have to say now. Thank you very much.
Continue with the speeches. Before our first session, we have two online speeches. One is Mrs. Professor Calypso Nikolaidis. I'm very pleased to announce her, especially her recent article published last month with the Vice President of the European Commission, Josep Borrell. That article attracted a lot of attention globally. So today she couldn't join us here in person, but she will address you from Italy. So the floor is yours, Mrs. Calypso Nikolaidis. She will address you from Italy. So the floor is yours, Mrs. Calypso Nikolaidis.
Thank you so much for having me at your conference virtually. I can't say how much I regret not to be able to be with you in my favorite city in the world. But the conference you're holding today is clearly so crucial a few days before the General Assembly, where my country, France, and UK, two of my countries, I'm French, Greek, and British, are joined by Canada and others, are joining the 147 states in the UN that actually have recognized Palestine And of course, it matters because this will mean that 4 out of 5 states in the UN Security Council will have recognized Palestine. And I'm just gonna, yeah, I realize I was on the live stream. Sorry to calling me. Live stream. Hello? You're calling me. Okay. Sorry, apparently I was still on the live stream. So no, what is it?
Burada da ses neden böyle kapalı gözüküyor?
Başlamasın mı?
Başlasın, konuşsun bir. Konuşabiliyor mu?